Technology drop-in Thursday. Today is October 28th. Short agenda today, so we'll be this quick in and out. But if anyone's got an iPhone and wants to play around with the screen sharing on the iPhone, we'll spend some time afterwards. Anyone who wants to try that. I've done some of it. They still got a lot of stuff to work out. It's kind of neat to see what they've done and how it's going to work in the future. But right now, it's just, yeah, it's not been my first choice in tools for screen sharing. But hopefully that'll improve. Okay, so let's start off with the first thing. This week I did a training session showcase on SharePoint sites and Microsoft Teams. So I've mentioned this a number of times, so if you're watching this, you probably heard me say it, but Microsoft Teams gives you a SharePoint site. So it's a website, and that's where Teams stores all its files. But at the same time, you can go in and create different pages. You can do all sorts of stuff that will give you a resource site for that team. So it's a place to send everyone for handy links. It's a place to send everyone for recordings of videos, whatever you want. So I've put the link in there. It's on my website as well. But SharePoint sites and Microsoft Teams, it's really good to see that you can have your own portal. I'll use the term loosely, but your own portal for your department or your team where you can store all your files there, and you can have news items and whatever else, and all these different resources that are just for your team, whether it's a project or whether it's your department. So not a lot happened today, but I did want to show you email merging with Microsoft. Now, some people have done this in the past, but what I really want to show, though, is that Microsoft will do email merge and send out emails. So typically, for those that have been using Microsoft for quite a few years, you can go in and do merge letters, and it creates PDFs or Word documents with all that data merged in. But a lot of people don't realize you can send this out for emails. This is great when you've got letters that you need to send out to students and stuff. Or, as the example that I've been showing people for about 15 years, you can use it for your Christmas cards. So you know those Christmas letters that everyone sends out? Here's what I did all year, which will be really short for this year because no one's gone anywhere or done anything. But let me just show you what I've always done in the past. So here right now is a letter. So it's dear name. There's a place for an introduction. Then there's the main body of my newsletter. And then there's what I call the extra or the auto. And then signed, your friend Trevor. So the only thing that's the same is the body, but I want a specific introduction and last paragraph for each letter based on the person. So in Excel, I've gone in and I've actually created 4 columns. The person's name. Go away, screen. Wow, Microsoft just popped up something on my screen. Go away. And I have no idea. Again, I'm on my Mac connecting to a Windows machine, and this thing won't leave me alone. So imagine it's not there, but you can see here, I've got name, email, intro, and extra. So name is Jazz. There's Jazz's email address. So the first paragraph is going to say, has it been 10 years already? I remember when you were just a pup. So for every person that I'm sending a letter out, I'm going to have a personalized paragraph. The very first paragraph will be personalized. Then there's going to be the body of the message, which is the same for everybody. And then the last paragraph, again, customized to that person. So there's my 4 columns I have in Excel. So in Word, this is what it kind of looks like. I've got dear name and all that kind of stuff. So you go under the menu here called mailings. So the first thing we do is we're going to go in here and we're going to select our recipients. So the recipients can be, you create a brand new list, you can use an existing list, or you can choose specific contacts from Outlook. The specific contacts from Outlook is not going to work if you want to have a customized introductory paragraph and last paragraph. So we're going to use an existing list. In this case, guess what? It's Excel. So let's go back into here, find my Excel, my contacts, and I open it up. And come on, go away. Why are you there? You are. So there it says there's a sheet you want. Yes, I do. And then what I'm going to do here, once I've made that connection, I'm going to go where it says insert merge field. So where I've got name here, I'm just as a placeholder on my part, I'm going to go in under the insert merge field, I insert the name. And I'm going to replace this section here with that first paragraph, which is my intro. And then I'm going to do the same here with the extra. Whoops, come on, back up. Stop that. So everything's done. If I go up top here, I should be able to go, will it let me do it? It's not going to let me do it. Okay, so when I have this done, so I've got the thing set up, and I've got placeholders that's going to go to my spreadsheet, grab all the data for that row, and bring it into the newsletter. So now I just click Finish and Merge, and I can choose whether I want to create a printed document or send email messages. So if I do that and I've got everything configured properly, which I do not here on this machine, but you can see here, it automatically says the to field, it'll grab the email field that I've created. I can put in whatever subject line I want, so Christmas letter, and then my format, and then I'll hit OK. And here we can see there is a preview of what's going to get emailed out. Dear Jazz, has it been 10 years already? I remember you when you were a pup. So that's that first line that we got from the spreadsheet. Then there's the second line, which is basically the body of the message. Last line there, which is again from the spreadsheet, and it's done. So, excuse me. So and once I hit that, it'll start doing the email merges, and it'll send them as emails. So you can send out quite a few email letters that way, and you can put in your graphics and stuff like that. You can even, if you do it properly, and I haven't done it with this with Excel, but you should be able to also insert graphics. So if there's a specific picture you want to send of that person together, you and that person, then that would be one of the columns. You would be able to send one of the pictures in there. There's a link in the show notes there that'll tell you how to do all that, but that's pretty much how the mail merge works. So it's like I said before, it's not just doing the, hang on a second, printed documents, but you can use the email functionality as well. Add name to comments, add name to comments in Microsoft Lists. So Microsoft Lists, as everyone knows, is my feeling is the next big thing. And with that, what's going to happen is, because Lists is going to be very similar to spreadsheets and databases, just kind of merge it together. But when I go into a team, so I've got my team here, I can add a list to my team. So it just adds it up as a tab at the top. And I've got a tab at the top here called Handy Flows. So this is a list that I've created. Every time I find a Power Automate flow that I think would be handy for us, I put it in this list. Well, and you can use lists for anything, right? The nice thing that's happened now is that I can now go into the comments field and put people's names in. So we've talked a bit about this before. It was actually during this last training session I talked about it. But with these different lists, instead of creating a column called notes, there is a function called comments. Now notes, if I was to create a column called notes, it'd be like a single cell in a spreadsheet. So, I mean, you can only put so much in there. It looks kind of garbagey. You can't really add very well. So people will just, take out and remove stuff all the time. Comments is a different function. So when I use the comment function, it's basically like pasting in one little comment at a time, and it keeps every single comment. So as different people add comments to something, it tracks all that. Now, where this comes handy now is within Teams here, is that you can use an @ sign. So this item here, it says add a SharePoint list items and post to team on Microsoft Form. That's the item here. I might go @Nick, and it's going to do a lookup, find Nick, and then I can type in whatever message I want. In this case, I'll just hit just ignore or testing ignore, and I hit the send button, but it's actually submit. And you can see here it's submitted that comment. Anytime anyone else makes comment, it's going to keep on going through. Nick is also going to get a message in Teams to say, hey, Trevor has sent this comment about this item here, and he can come right to this document here, or right to this item and address whatever it is that I've pulled him in for. So this is really cool. If you haven't played with lists, I do have a session called Drop Excel for Microsoft Lists. There's an archive recording on the site. I'm also got a session coming up in a week or two, I think. To me, this is the future of where everything's going to go. We're going to get rid of like Excel's used for financial, but for those of us that just want like a simple database, Lists is going to be the thing. So I really can't stress enough to get familiar and get on the leading edge of that stuff. And lastly, a cool Apple link. So there's this document here. Basically, it says, get a reminder when you leave something behind. So what I did this before I even knew about this service, but when you go into your Find My app, you can locate your different devices. So everything that's like tied to the account. So I had my iPad with me. I took my iPad with me, went for a drive somewhere, was reading for a while, put my iPad in a hidden spot, got up and left. And within about a minute, I got pinged on my phone saying, hey, you left your iPad back where we are back there. Did you mean to do that? So this is kind of nice. If you've got iPads and other devices, and including the AirTags, this all falls in. So if you haven't set it up, I really recommend you do it. The notifications tend to be on the iPhone from what I can see, not, if you leave your phone and take your iPad, it's going to tell you. It looks like the other way around. But yeah, it's kind of cool that it's actually letting you know that you've left your iPad behind you or whatever AirTag you're using. And that is the Apple stuff. And that's pretty much it. Any questions?
I have a question, right. Trevor.
Sure.
For this iPad thing, can you set like a location that's like a home base? So like if you leave your home with your phone, it doesn't ping you every time that you have left it?
Yeah, right here it says add locations where you don't want to be notified. So you just put your home there, you can put work there, whatever else, and it will do that. Yeah. Yeah, because that would be annoying every time I left the house. So you can put in a couple different items in there. Last week on the session, for those of you that weren't around, I also talked about how you could set up a second person to be kind of like an authenticator for you if you get locked out of your account. Because it's kind of, if you get locked out of your account, you have to log in with another device to say, yeah, and it's okay, Trevor's still here or whatever. But if you happen to have both your phone and your iPad stolen, you're kind of screwed. But you can now have assigned someone else. So if that was to happen to me, my wife is kind of like an authority to say, yes, that's Trevor trying to log into his new iPad or something like that. Let him go ahead and do that. So that's another one of those functions that I would recommend taking a look at. Okay, that's it.
I have a quick question about the email merging thing with Excel.
Sure, go ahead.
So say you have a list in Excel of, I don't know, 100 students that you want to send an email to.
Yeah.
Well, it wouldn't probably be students, otherwise it wouldn't be different, but whatever. So say you have 100 different emails you're going to send. So when you click on merge, does it create like 100 separate emails?
Because they're all individual emails, right?
Right.
Yeah. So and it's been a while since I've done it on my Mac and stuff like that. I used to use this function all the time, and I didn't have it set up here. But from what my memory pulls out is, yes, you'll get separate, because they are separate emails.
Yeah.
But it doesn't like open them up and then you have to go in Outlook and then you have to go click yes, send. It doesn't do that. It basically it just sends them away. It's using your Outlook account, your email account. It's just that it's not like here's a blank window that's set up. You just have to hit send. So it does it for you because, I mean, you're logged in with your account. So it's assuming you know what you're doing.
Right. I was just, that's what I was wondering, because I was thinking if you had to go through each message and send it.
No.
Okay.
Keep in mind, I mean, this is not a function that's designed to do like 1,000 or 2,000 emails and stuff like that. It's for a short list. If you need to do something like that, then Outlook is not the tool for you. Because the other side of it is that it also looks like you're sending out spam if you were to do 1,000 messages from your Outlook. And I think some people have had that experience where they tried to message like 500 or 600 students, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, this person, beckt@mcune.ca, looks like he's doing spam. We're going to blacklist the domain, which means all of us get in trouble.
Yeah.
You sound like you've had that experience, Russell.
No, I've never tried to send out that many, but I was just kind of wondering how that works.
But something short, like a couple hundred and stuff like that, that's not a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to stop the recording here then. And then stop my recording.